My name is Margot Neuhaus. Who am I? I'm a woman, and I'm here because I'm an artist, and you're interested in hearing some of what I have to say. I think expressing oneself, whether it's with, art, with videos, with writing, it's a certain release, and that feels great, just that. But then there's also a discovery, because when I do my work, I really don't know exactly what's going to come out, and I learn about myself, I learn about the world, about the materials. And then there's the part of doing the work is the sharing of it. It's healing. I have been working now for quite some time on an exhibition I'm going to have in Poland. The title of the exhibition is called Coming Full Circle. This work is the most personal work I've done because it relates to my history. My Polish parents who left and were Holocaust survivors and were refugees in Mexico. And this work actually is the work I've been dealing with my whole lifetime. This work, as I said, is about my history. My history has to do with my parents who had to flee. Most of their relatives died. So, in a way, it's about victims and perpetrators. And I think we all have some of that, both inside. And for me, it's been a discovery to do it, and I would hope that other people might also find some meaning in it. And as you find meaning in awareness, it changes you. Hopefully, improves who you are. My mother's family and my mother come from Krakow, and this exhibition will be in Krakow. My mother said that that is the place where she last saw her family. My mother didn't speak very much about herself, and we don't have much written about her either. But she wrote a couple of things that tells us about her background. It happened 50 years ago. Where are they now? Where are you, dear mother and dear father? Where are you, my dear brothers and sister? And the rest of our family? The Holocaust took them away. Now we don't know what they were thinking before they left this world. We don't even know what the Nazis did with them or where they lost their lives. I'm really fortunate, I believe, to be able to show this series in Poland. One is at the Jewish Community Center, which is the center of Krakow, right now of the Jewish life in Krakow. In that, there I will be showing the series called In Memoriam, which is a series where I'm honoring the people who died in the Holocaust, including most of my family. In Memoriam are really the paintings that express my parents' silence. People often that are traumatized, as were my parents during the war, they don't speak much. And I realized after it was in the middle of I was doing that, I was expressing their feelings. And I showed this in Germany, and a German woman came and talked to me about it. I was telling her this. She started to cry. And she said her German parents were also silent. And she could identify, she recognized all those feelings. And the other series is called Leitmotifs, and it's that I'll show at the Galicia Museum. It's the series that followed In Memoriam. I was kind of compelled to work in this second series, which is very different from the first. The first is primarily stark black and red. And after I finished that, all of a sudden I started to work with orange and yellow. I didn't conceive of the series. It occurred to me, what if I tear the paper and make different configurations? And so I painted it and I would tear it, and some of it I made mobiles. And some of it are wall pieces. In 2016, the presidential elections and the state of the country and the state of the world brought a lot of feelings for me. And so I've always worked with, I've worked with primarily paper and sculpture, photography, but there were so many feelings that I felt like doing something very large. So I started working on canvas. The one that worked was one that was 5 feet by 18 feet. So I worked on very large pieces, and it was an outcry, crying out about what was happening with injustice, with refugees, with undocumented workers in the States, in the world. And of course, it touched my history of my parents being refugees and all that happened with their family. I thought, since I'm going to be showing at the Galicia Jewish Museum, besides just bringing the series as it is, I would like to have something that I make particularly for that museum. The piece that came up was a menorah, and the reason for it, in a way it makes sense, is that Galicia Jewish Museum, a menorah is a symbol of the Jewish people. It's a symbol of light of the Jewish people, and I'm doing this series about light. Doing the menorah has been a journey. I've learned a lot, you know. It's like it wasn't letting me go easily. I have a pile of papers that, you know, of other painted pieces. And I just kind of took there were 4 pieces out, which are the ones I needed. I mean, in terms of numbers. And I started working with these pieces. And those are precisely the pieces for the menorah. I don't know what you call a mystical experience, but if there's such a thing, you know, that felt like a mystical experience to me, in that it came to me.